the envy of the nation when it came to business climate. And so you saw states like Nevada try and emulate our court system and our business laws and try and get that side of business. And as they were trying to be Delaware, Delaware was trying to be Detroit. And we've gone in the wrong way when it comes to business climate. So how do we attract more jobs? Specific to my district, because we are talking about the 6th district here, I think we can create an enterprise zone in the 6th district. I think we can include in that a right to work zone. I think one of the benefits that we have in the area that we're not taking advantage of is the proximity of aviation companies and the various aviation things. So if you look at near the 6th district, you have Philadelphia Airport, you have Newcastle County Airport, you have Dover Air Force Base, you have Lockheed Martin, you have Boeing, and you have Amazon, who wants to do drones. How are we not an aviation hub? Where's the vision? How are we not yet an aviation hub? When I was in the state government, I worked for DITO for a little under a year until we agreed that they didn't want to run like a business, I didn't want to run like a government. We said, what can we bring here? What are we a good fit for? I did some research. We are a good fit for aviation. Where are those sorts of ideas from the current leaders in the state? I'm just not seeing it.
First, I'd like to say that I believe in the word "our." I may own my house or my car or something, but I do not own my district. I'm a part of that district, and that is what I include. The inclusiveness of everyone that's in that district is very important. There is no one big issue in the 2nd representative district that I can put my hands on. Everything is important, and there are a lot of issues. But there are also a lot of good things that are going in the 2nd representative district. And a lot that has been mentioned here, some I agree with. When we look at education, we need to look at the number of schools, districts that we have. We have 19 school districts. And 19 school districts, plus we have charter schools. We have 37 charter schools, and then we keep renewing and giving other charters. So look where all the money is in terms of our education. And our education needs to be from a holistic approach, not just one particular area. When we're looking at jobs, it was mentioned by my colleague here, maybe, that people don't come here unless there's a good education system. Like New Jersey has a great one, so yeah, our tax structure is less. However, they're willing to pay those taxes for good schools. Everyone can't send their child to Friends or St. Mark's, but we do have choice. So there are some very good public schools as well as charters that kids can choice in. My granddaughter has the opportunity to go to Wilmington Charter this year because she's interested in the arts. The things that attract us here to the state of Delaware, which we all represent, yes, we have a district, but the 2nd district does not just exist in the city of Wilmington. We go as far out as Boxwood Road and as far north as Edgemore. So I want to be inclusive of everyone and everything that has to be done. Thank you.
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to tell you about my district. I don't think I told you when I first began speaking. I represent the 16th district, which include the South Bridge of Wilmington and continues down, basically down Route 9 into the city of Old Newcastle. Now we have unique issues in that area. We have some of the issues that were mentioned earlier at the table as far as jobs and education. But we have some unique issues in that district. And one of the biggest issues we have is the environment. We have environment issues in that area because we have a lot of brownfields. A lot of industry was there before that left a lot of brownfields, which also has caused us to be one of the highest cancer clusters in the district. So we should be able to address the environment. I've been fighting a company that's down on the port now, that's causing a lot of problems, not only in Southbridge, Wilmington, but throughout that district. But having said that, that district also is a unique area for economic development. Because one of the major things that we have in that district is the Port of Wilmington. And I don't think people realize how important the Port of Wilmington can be. The location of Delaware, where the ships can come right up Delaware Bay and dock right in the city of Wilmington. If we would invest in the city of Wilmington and bring that port out onto the river, we could increase the number of jobs, we could increase the number of traffic, and it would be beneficial not only for the 16th district, but for the entire state.
Due to time and the size of the panel, we're going to each have each candidate make a brief 1-minute closing statement. Rep. Johnson, we'll start with you.
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank you again for allowing us to be here. And this is more or less like coming home to me, because I was raised right here in Washington, right on Duncan Road. And when I was raised here, and I'm not dating myself, but when I was raised here, I was raised in Washington, but I went to school in Belvedere, because I was bused in Belvedere because we had segregated schools then. We had segregated schools, but we had good schools. We had dedicated teachers. We may not have the best equipment or the best facilities, but we had dedicated staff and dedicated teachers. I think what we need with education, we need to give more local control. And we need a weighted formula where we can provide funding to the poor schools the same way we do to the rich schools. I think that would make a difference. Thank you.
Once again, thank you, everyone, for even the audience here for being here. I'd just like to close by saying that my passion for education, for people, for those that have and those that have less, has brought me to the point where I am today here as a political person representing the 2nd Representative District. As a councilwoman, I did a lot in that particular district by opening up housing for where people that own homes are living next to those that rent homes. Got a national award. That was Village of Eastlake. Macaulay Court was another one. But it doesn't stop there, because I don't only represent the city now. I represent the riverfront. I come out to Middleborough. I have Alban Park. It's a lot of different entities throughout this area, and I have been there passionately and dedicated to serving. I want to continue to serve because it's my passion to do so, and I think God has given me the ability to do so. It doesn't matter how long you've been in office, it's what you do while you're there.
I agree. I'd like to thank everyone for staying so late and listening to us this evening. I do look forward to representing the 6th District, and I'll stay my first reaching across the aisle. I'll say, JJ, absolutely, the Port of Wilmington is a gem, and we need to do everything we can to make it grow, because it has some fantastic benefits. The challenge that we face right now is we're not accountable in Dover. There's no accountability. There's no voice to keep the existing one-party rule in check. And there are good people down there. There really are. But when you don't have anybody to say, hey, why are you doing that? Hey, that's not the right thing. Each time you push a little bit further, and it's been 20-some years since the Republicans have had, a good voice in Dover. It's time to bring that accountability back. It's time to bring that check and balance back. And I think we have a fantastic slate of candidates, and we certainly all look forward to working with you in Dover.
As you can see, my opponent's not here tonight. Now, I don't say that as a criticism of her. I say that as a differentiation between a 20-year incumbent and a first-time challenger. When I get questions like these, and they were nice enough to give them to us in advance so we could look them up, I had to do a lot of research, and I had to do a lot of study and try to figure out how to answer these questions. I might not have answered them as smoothly and articulately as I would have liked to tonight, and I will have my answers on my website so we can go back and see. But the key is that I'm going to take the time to study and to work hard and to find new solutions. I'm reminded of a new employee who comes to work and asks the tough questions, the questions that make us feel awkward. Why are you doing that? Why aren't you doing it the way the procedure says you're supposed to do it? Why aren't you doing it the way the rules say? And the answer is, well, nobody's been challenging me for the last 5 or 10 or 20 years, so we got lazy and we got sloppy. I think there's a lot of hardworking, good people in Dover, but I think somebody there to ask some questions and put them on the spot will help. Thank you.
I appreciate you all coming out and staying this late. To sum up, I'm John McKenzie. I've been a professor of economics for 30 years. And I think we need some knowledgeable economics applied to the job creation problem in Delaware. I've been a lifelong conservationist. I grew up half my childhood farming. I love quality natural environment. And I think we risk losing some of the great things we have with uncontrolled development and with poor land use planning. And finally, I'm a career educator. I've been teaching economics for 32 years. And I care deeply about education. That is really my ultimate profession. So that's what I'm bringing to Dover, is a life of career experience that covers 3 critical areas that we're concerned about. Thank you.
I'd like to also thank you guys for coming out. My name is Richard Dighton. I'm running for state representative. There's no short-term fix for long-term problems. It's going to take a lot of us together working to make our communities better. There's no more Chrysler. There's no more General Motors. We have to get our people prepared, educated, and trained so that they can earn a decent living. We heard a lot of people talk about the successes they had, but you must also share the blame for the failures. If I'm elected, I will share not only the successes, but also in the failures and seeing what I can do to make things different and make things better. I know what it's like to fail. I know what it's like to succeed. Whether I win or lose, my commitment to my community remains the same. I will strive to make it a better place for all Wilmingtonians. Thank you very much.
So my wife Heidi and I were having dinner the other night, and she was asking me how I was enjoying the process, and we were kind of talking about me sticking my head into the arena, and she looked at me and said, you know, this is tough, and I think it's actually kind of sad that you decided to run for office rather than doing all the chores that you have to do around the house. But to go back to some of the comments on the panel, the gentleman earlier spoke to the role of technology in the economy. And technology is a force multiplier. It does change directions. It does push capital into the markets and help us sustain and grow the economic environment. And we talked about education. And what I don't think we talked about was how those two are linked together or lack thereof. I mentioned that there's a U.S. Chamber of Commerce report that went out recently. In addition to failing when it came to the efficiency of our spending, we also failed spectacularly in the technology space. So we need to fix that, because technology will be a major player going forward, and that will change the game.